Now, interesting note, and this comes from the folks at DraftKings because, odds are available on anything and everything, including where coaches are going to end up. Bill Belichick's odds for being the Falcons coach went from just plus 150 to plus 125 after the interview. It wasn't some overwhelming slip into negative territory. The odds for any other team changed dramatically from 8-1 to plus 125. So this is in keeping with the point I made the last weekend of the regular season. Everybody's caught up on Belichick going to one of the non-playoff teams. We got to wait and see what happens after the first round of the playoffs, because that's going to introduce options that Belichick currently doesn't have that are going to be more attractive. It's going to be more attractive to go coach a team that was good enough to get to the playoffs than to coach a team that didn't get to the playoffs. So I'm not surprised the odds have shifted, whether it's Dallas, whether it's Philly, both jobs currently occupied, whether it's somebody else. But I'd say right now, between Dallas, Philly, and Atlanta, I would put Atlanta as third, even though Atlanta is the only one that currently has a vacancy.
Well, yeah, I mean, Atlanta is the least attractive option because it's got the most questions at quarterback. And despite the fact that, Drake London is there, Bijan Robinson is there, Kyle Pitts is there, and you could be forgiven if you didn't quite realize that based on the way Arthur Smith used them over the course of the season. Like, there's still such a big quarterback question that it's kind of like, man, I don't know. And frankly, I don't know if we want Bill Belichick picking our quarterback at this point because it's not 2000 and Tom Brady's not in the draft. So there are a lot of things that make Dallas and Philly more attractive should those coaching destinations become open. But also, Mike, like just based on the sheer number of coach turnover this year, right? We've already had 8 jobs open, one obviously filled by Rob Mayo, and then 2 more ostensibly could become open over the coming days. Like, that's a lot of places that need a head coach. And if somebody needs a head coach and Bill Belichick is available, like, it stands to reason that unless Bill Belichick just doesn't feel comfortable taking one of these jobs, he's going to end up with a job just by numbers, right? I mean, who else is going to coach some of these teams? So, yeah, it's going to be interesting to see the way Philly and Dallas in this week.
The fact that he interviewed for a job 4 days after his press conference with Robert Kraft tells us that he's not stopping. It's just a question of the right fit.
Oh, yeah.
And is it going to be pursuit of a Super Bowl quickly? Is it going to be Arthur Blank reacting like Jimmy Haslam did when he thought he wasn't going to get Deshaun Watson and offering way too much to Bill Belichick and, full control of the football operations, even though we're so concerned about putting guardrails on Belichick? If Blank knows that's what it takes to get him away from Dallas or Philly or somewhere else, I'll give you the keys. I'll fire Rich McKay. I'll fire Terry Fontenot. I'll pay you $40 million a year or whatever. We never know what the full amount is because there's the official amount that no one knows, and then there's the extra that they get through other companies that no one definitely knows, and it's all about keeping the coaching market down. Like we don't want anyone to know how much the most rich coaches are making because then the other coaches are going to want more. I still say, too, if I'm Bill Belichick, I want to wait and see how far the Chiefs go. And I want to wait and see whether or not, in the aftermath of the end of the Chiefs season, Andy Reid retires. Not saying he will, but I would want to see if I'm Bill Belichick because only one team has Patrick Mahomes. So you go look at Cowboys, you go look at the Eagles, good teams, ready to go. Let's go. And then you got Patrick Mahomes. And if Andy Reid would walk away, if I'm Bill Belichick, that's the spot where I would want to go. And if I'm Patrick Mahomes, I welcome it. I'm trying to beat Tom Brady. Well, if I can join forces with the coach who, with Tom Brady, won 6 Super Bowls, I'll do it. Let's go. So, again, not saying Andy Reid is going to retire. Let's just see what happens. Season could be over as soon as Sunday night for the Kansas City Chiefs. The odds makers say it will be. Maybe by next Monday or Tuesday or Wednesday. There's another wrinkle in all of this. And from Belichick's standpoint, another reason to just wait and see how it plays out, Miles.
It is, but man, I agree with you from the Mahomes standpoint, from the Belichick standpoint, but from the Chiefs standpoint of what is your program, I don't know that that's a great fit. for what they would need going forward. I just it would change things in such a way that would be so dramatic, especially considering the success that they've had. I don't know about that, man. I don't know about that.
I just think that Mahomes is so determined to get on the Tom Brady path that he would crave the opportunity to be coached the same way Tom Brady was. Because, let's face it, Patrick Mahomes, more than slightly more talented than Tom Brady, physically.
Oh.
Can do things Tom Brady could never dream of doing.
Yes.
Right? Fair to say?
Yes. No, yes, that is absolutely fair to say. Yeah. Greatest quarterback I've ever seen. Yeah.
You couple that with the brain power that positioned Tom Brady to do the things he did. And at some point, Brady had to actually do them. I mean, there was a calm, a cool, an understanding of defenses, ability to make quick decisions. But that's one of the things Patrick Mahomes has said. He wants to get to the point where Brady was, where you walk up to the line of scrimmage, you process, you get the ball, you process, you know exactly what to do. So you don't have to run around and do the crazy short stop throws. You just throw from the pocket. I know, isn't life easier? I mean, yeah, he can do all that other stuff that we love to see. Isn't life easier if you just get the ball, you look, and you throw? And that's where he wants to get. And if he could pair up with Belichick, and Belichick brings McDaniels, and all I'm saying is, if I'm Belichick, I'd like to wait and see what's going to happen in Kansas City before I commit to anything else.
I know, and I get that, but I think based on the way that Belichick runs his program in the building versus based on the way Andy Reid runs his program in the building, I think that despite the fact that, getting coached in such a way that would be really good, like there's something to that. I agree with you, but I think that in totality of culture, like that is in a very, very, very dramatic shift from one end of the spectrum to another end of the spectrum when it goes from Bill Belichick, from Andy Reid to Bill Belichick. Like that to me is where in the building as a whole, you would have to really think about, do we want to do that? And do we want to bring in Josh McDaniels to coach Patrick Mahomes? Like, I don't know.
The key will be Mahomes being all in with it, and Mahomes gathering his players before the first meeting with Bill Belichick and saying, hey, guys, this is what we're doing. This is where we're going. If we want to be great, this is how we achieve great. And then they go into the first meeting, and Belichick proceeds to rip Patrick Mahomes a new one like he used to do in front of the whole room with Tom Brady. So be careful what you wish for, I guess. And I'm not saying that he would. And again, I'm sure the wish is Andy Reid sticks around indefinitely. But let's just see. Let's just see. If I'm Belichick, let's just see. It's more information that informs my ultimate decision as to what my future is going to be. Let's take a break. We know what the future is. Seattle, Pete Carroll's out. John Schneider now takes over. Oh, before I do that, yes, I got a bad habit of doing this. Before we tease the next segment, I need to say this. Even though I've forgotten, you should not forget that on DraftKings Sportsbook this NFL playoffs, new customers can bet $5 and pocket $200 in bonus bets instantly. Plus, all customers can get a no-sweat, same-game parlay every day. Download the app and use the promo code PFTLive when you sign up. DraftKings Sportsbook, the crown is yours, and please wager responsibly. And when we return, we will hear from the new head of football operations in Seattle. General Manager John Schneider meets with the media. That's next here on PFT Live. Hi, it's Mike Florio. Thanks for watching PFT on YouTube. Hit subscribe for the latest news and analysis from Pro Football Talk.